Hello all, we are back for part 2 of the Burning Wheel date. Judd and Sean. If you're just coming to us, I don't think you are. I can't see us. If you're just coming to us, or if you're on the YouTubes, it has been announced that the armies of the Orves, the Elves and the Dwarves of the Orves, the armies of the Elves and the Dwarves are coming to do battle right at Karakegi, the crossroads, the tower that our protagonist Bina lives in, and she has been doing her darndest ever since she heard to prevent her lord from telling anybody, so that she would have time to slip with her and her husband and her daughter out of town before this all happens. And she poisoned her lord, a little poisoned, few herbs just to make him sick, and in order to slow him down. And she just snuck out of the keep. So that's where we are. And John just said that Sean Hayworth is streaming Burning Wheel on his channel, so lots of Burning Wheel love right now.
Nice.
Burning. Awesome. So no trouble slipping out of the keep, Judd? Or is there a...
Nope. No trouble.
Cool. Nice. So I'm going to go to... I know my husband's name. I'm going to go to Deke's shop. To his shed, where he fixes wheels.
Yep. He's working on a cartwheel.
Cool.
And I think the what's the baby's name?
Nara.
And is she like?
She's 4.
4 years old. Okay.
So she's old enough to be running around.
Yeah. She's got a little 5-spoke wheel that he made for her.
Oh, nice.
She's playing with it.
That's her toy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice.
And it's got like red and yellow ribbons on it because it's a Burning Wheel game.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say you picked
a Burning Wheel toy.
Yep. Nice. I did not think of that at all when I decided to make him a wheelwright, but now I am uber happy.
I'm so happy. I didn't think that either. And now I'm like, oh, that's so good. Oh my god. Fantastic.
Of course, Deke is a wheelwright. Excellent. So I go in and I see them and I think Nara, I think Bina is relieved, everything seems fine, seems normal. And she sort of bundles up. I think at 4, kids are still small enough that they're easy to bundle up. So she picks up Nara and like puts her on her hip and boops her nose.
Yep.
And asks her some questions that are trivial.
She says, she counts to 5 on the spokes.
Awesome. Yeah.
And she says to her father, make a 5-spoke wheel. And he says, 5-spoke wheels are only practical to wizards, little one.
And I say, are you gonna be a little wizard? Are you gonna be a wizard when you grow up, little one? And
yes.
I say, shh, nobody likes wizards. Okay, well, you go practice your magic inside, okay? And I like shoot her to go inside.
Cool. Yeah, she runs and like the ribbons, she holds the wheel up above her head and runs so that the ribbons trail behind her.
Beautiful. I go in and get I go in and like take a Deke's cup and I like dish it into our trough of water and bring him a big mug of water. So I think it's tiresome work, and you need to drink a lot, and we don't have endless supplies of ale like the Lord does.
Right.
So this is what he gets, right? Like, sometimes I think we have maybe some honey that we'll dip into it. Like we have a little like honey urn, and so I think she like takes the little wooden, I don't even know what it's called, but the little wooden honey spoon that has little graves into it, and
Yep.
she dips it in and like and circles it a few times around, so it's just ever so slightly sweetened, right? Like it's
Nice.
just a little bit to take off of this doesn't taste like quite like mud water anymore,
Right.
And brings him his cup, and wanting him to be in a good mood before.
How is your relationship with him? It's good, right?
It's good. Yes,
Yeah.
It started well. It's good. It's not great. We started as a getting married for her to essentially gain her citizenship, and then I think that probably wouldn't have done it. But having a child brought them together at least for a little while, and now they're like very functional, right? Like
Right.
I think they get along well enough, and they take care of, they kind of know how to take care of,
Yeah.
take care of each other and take care of
Cool.
things. So
Cool. Yeah. And he's sending down some spokes for a cart. The wheel of a cart with the wheels of a cart.
She waits.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course, Steve. Of course.
I heard the Lord Knight was gathering everyone to hear a song. What's behind that?
He was, and she goes, and I think there's probably like we normally work in sort of a shed where it's just like a big open door.
Yeah.
And it says he was bringing everyone to hear a very, very sad song, and she closes the door, which is weird. Like,
yeah.
Normally the doors open whenever it's daylight, right? Or
yeah. He says that. He says I thought you hated the smell of the wood shaves.
I do, but I need a moment alone. She's like, she says, I need a moment alone with you. And kind of just, dismisses that. He's right. He's absolutely right. Says, I think in classical kind of like bad communication skills, she doesn't just explain what's going on. She says, have you a sturdy wagon, with have you a sturdy wagon with wheels that you've inspected and crafted yourself that we could take? Have you a wagon ready? I don't care if it's yours or one of our customers or your customers. Ours. I think everything's family business.
Yeah. He says, I have a cart ready, but they'll be here to pick it up in a few days. What's going on?
Did Voss say like how far out the armies were?
He did not.
Okay. She says, in a few days, there may be nothing left of Karakegi. And she's really torn as to like, should she just be honest and say exactly what's going on? And I don't think there's a reason not to, but she's a little afraid because this is not something that anyone's supposed to know. The Lord was supposed to announce this. So she says in a conspiratorial tone, the ominous something bad is going to happen music rolls back in that we heard earlier.
Yeah.
I don't know everything, but I've heard word from a writer. I've heard word from from a hunter. She intentionally doesn't use Voss's name. We heard word from a hunter that the old war between the elves and the dwarves has reignited, and that they're coming here. And she looks scared, and she is scared. They're coming here to solve their blood oath once more. This isn't my home. This isn't where I was born, but I've heard the stories, and they are not good, and they do not bode well for anyone.
What does the knight say?
The knight says we will. The knight says we will stand behind our walls, and we will be safe. Those walls will not protect anyone. If they wish to claim this tower as some sort of prize, they'll be stomping over us to take it. And choose or no, we need to flee this place. He won't call upon his aunt in the east for aid. He's too proud. Or perhaps he knows she would not help him.
Or perhaps he knows something that we do not. He is a knight, and we should do what he says. They know war, we don't.
We know what happens in war. We know people die. We know the stories. In the Soldier's Lament, a brave soldier goes to make peace between the armies, and
yes.
That soldier never returns.
Yes, that's because he overstepped his place. That's the whole point of that song. That he should have stayed put. He's learning. He's learning from history.
Should stay put. You think these waist-high walls made of thatch and wood will stop an army?
Oh, suddenly you're a war engineer?
I don't have to know the ways of war to know that I've seen a man fire a bow. I can't believe we must leave. It's the only way to save ourselves. I think we should enter a duel of wits.
Oh,
myself.
Okay.
I feel like this is bigger stakes than a simple persuasion roll. I don't know about you, but
yeah, I'm down with it. Let's do it.
I feel like this is.
Want to go the full DOW? Let's do it.
Right. Like, doesn't this just? I mean, this is what my belief is. This is belief number one, and clearly Deke disagrees with me.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course, I don't remember how to do a duel wits at all, but that's fine. My goal is for him to sneak away in the night with me. Nice. Take the cart, put Nara and whatever belongings we have in it, and ride off to the east and beg for the Dukes to take us in. Actually, let me re-ask this. Where is my home? Like where I was taken captive from?
Yeah.
If it's because if it's not right in the warpath, I would say there. That feels like it's a more like I actually have family there.
Right. I'm gonna say it's right in the warpath.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Cool. Then to the mercy of the Dukes and the Duchesses. Yeah. Okay. What's his?
I mean, he wants you and Nara to stay put.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal for me because if he said no, she would just leave.
Right.
right? So the idea of me staying put and Nara staying put. I mean, obviously Nara's not going to leave on her own, but that's significant. Awesome. So, what's the base? How do you form body of argument? This is a little Burning Wheel tutorial for folks
yes.
curious about the.
So you're unskilled. So
Oh yeah, full of unskilled. I mean, I think soothing platitudes can be used for some actions. I don't know which ones, but
right.
But it's definitely not a disposition setting skill.
It is not. So you're gonna make a will roll, and it's gonna be 2 successes equals 1 point for your body of argument.
Already.
And then we add that to your will, right? So it's
Yep. And I don't think I can fork into dispo, right? Or can I?
Oh no, actually, hold on. So we don't have to add the will exponent to the skill exponent, actually. We can just do the body of argument roll can be, oh no. Once the cases have been made clear, each player tests his skill. Add any successes from the skill test to the character's will exponent. Yeah, it is. It's test to the will exponent. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're both unskilled.
Cool.
I believe, right? I mean, let's look at Wheelwright.
Yeah, does Wheelwright have Persuader, Orator, Falsehood?
I don't think so, but let's see. Is it actually a life path, or is it?
Oh, I don't know. I just.
Farrier, Barber, Brewer, Acolyte,
A character may engage a duel with any of the following skills: Order, Rhetoric, Persuasion, Interrogation, Stentorious Debate, Haggling, or, where appropriate, Etiquette, Falsehood, Ugly Truth, or Soothing Platitudes, Conspicuous Command, or an Intimidation.
Where are you seeing that? Oh, okay, you're reading
page 96.
Got it.
Or where appropriate, Etiquette, Falsehood, and Ugly Truth. Soothing Platitudes can be used as a fork. Okay, well, or tested themselves at appropriate moments, but they're not used as a main dueling skill. I feel like I can fork in Soothing Platitudes, but I think I'm being too forceful in my argument to say
and you need a skill to fork it, basically. Like you can't fork something into a will.
Like in Blurger, Durger, Furger. Yeah, you're right.
So in order for me to roll something, it's backslash R
/R
slash R,
yep.
And then 4d6.
If that's his will. Yep.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
All right, and I'm going to do the same.
You got 0 successes.
I got 1 success, but I don't know if that counts for anything.
It does not.
So I have a dispo of 3, and he has one of 4.
Yeah, he says we should stay put. Cool. Shall we script?
Yes. If anyone is curious to follow along at home, I have a PDF that I grabbed off of the Burning Wheel website that I'm looking at because it's been a couple years. And I'm looking right now at the various skills. The dueling skills or oratory rhetoric. Persuasion and interrogation. Man, I should have taken persuasion. Oh well. This is how you learn them.
Okay, I'm scripted whenever you're ready.
All right.
Shall we post them in chat at the exact same moment?
Sure. I need to pick mine, but
Yep. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay. I'm typing them right now, and then I will hit. If this is test, that didn't work. This is test. Okay, there we go. If you hold down Shift, you can hit Enter. Okay.
So I'm just writing all three.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Okay, I am ready to hit Enter whenever you are.
3, 2, 1, go.
Go. Oh, damn. I put point in the wrong place.
Okay.
Or faint in the wrong place, rather.
Cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think his avoid the topic is he just starts doing woodwork. Like he literally says, you know, he knows that the argument's not over, but he just starts sanding spokes.
Yep. And mine is I've heard from old Novak. She was here. Her grandmother was here when last the Dwarves and the Elves came here. That's why there's an old tower, because the old one was here was laid to waste. It's a pretty straightforward point.
Yep.
All right. I have to test a dueling skill, which I have none, so I'm going to test will.
Yep. And he actually tests will, but it counts 1 for 1 because
Right.
avoid the topic is just a will roll.
And I think he can fork in his wheelwright wise if I don't know.
He can't fork in skills, but yeah.
It says plus. It says will plus skill forks.
Oh wow.
I think skills might be able to help stats. Now that I think about it, I thought that skills could help stats, or stats could only help stats.
Huh.
Maybe that's helping, not forking. But
yeah, it could be. It could be that I'm wrong. Cool. He got 1 success. And our body of argument is both 4, right?
No, mine's 3.
Okay, so it's 4 to 3.
All right. Forks are never relevant on beginner's luck rolls. All right. This is a beginner's luck roll with persuasion. So I'll get it one day. And
yes.
Yeah, and I don't think I could fork with it, but you tell me if I can.
I don't believe you can.
All right.
But I can double check. Give me 2 seconds. If you want me to look at it.
No, I'm pretty sure I can. I'm gonna
okay.
It. All right. Come on. There we go. Aha! I got a success. All right, nice. I got 2 successes.
Nice. So it's 3 to 3.
Cool. And I got 2 6s in those 3 dice, which would have been sweet to explode, but I'm out of fate. Alrighty.
Next is a point.
Next is a point, and I fainted. So I think
he just goes for it.
he just goes for it. Yep. I say my feint so that he can undercut me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is my feint is it's an attempt to use soothing platitudes and say, "You're right, dear husband. I should not question you. I should not question you. I stepped out of place. May I stepped out of place, and may you know." And she goes to like refill his. Let me go. Let me get you something stronger. And like she was gonna try and butter him up to like make another point.
Yeah.
And like I think like she goes to like refill his tankard with like the some stowed away booze that they do have.
Right.
Try and butter him up.
He steps in between you and where you would go to get that.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Do not treat me like an idiot knight who only sees a peasant servant. I am your husband, and I see before me the strongest woman I've ever met, the strongest person I've ever met, and the mother of my child. And we can stay here in these walls and accomplish anything, and that is what we will do." And that's his point.
Yep.
And he gets one success, so he wears you down. It's now 3-2.
Next is point rebuttal. I think you scripted better than I did, sir.
I did.
My point is this is when I wish I could throw in gossip wise. She puts down the mug, ashamed a little bit. This is totally this totally works on Lord all the time, and she feels like she's been, caught in the candy jar. Right? Like she's like this was clearly a trick, and she feels a little ashamed that she was using it on her husband.
Yeah.
And she says, "If we knew the Dukes were bringing their armies to protect us, it would be one thing. But Countess Botis, you don't hear what I hear. Countess Botis has no love for him. She put him here because she has no love for him. She may have put him here because she was hoping this would happen. There's no aid coming to us. If we stay here, we're a village of 300 against 2 armies. I don't need to be a war engineer to know what that means. We need to seek their help." That's my point.
Yep.
I'm testing persuasion again, although you can't. You can only get one skill test in a duel of wits. So I marked one practice test for persuasion earlier. Testing it now, and I can't fork into it because I don't have it. But that's okay.
Yeah. He's doing 2d6 defense and 2d6 offense.
Cool.
And he says, "We don't need any dukes. It's far above us. We need our home."
Nice.
And he got 0 successes. Well, he got 1, but doesn't.
Yep. I got 1 as well. So nothing happens.
And he says, we're just as likely to be killed on the road as we are to be killed in any battle. Elves and dwarves don't care about the likes of us. And he got only 1 success, so he does. The words ring hollow. So we script another round?
Yep. No, it's I think, Matthew, like I agree when you're like this really is true, but like this really is true, but but it doesn't line up. But like, I feel like, especially like a married couple, like there's a lot of like inertial. There's a lot of like ablative armor when you're trying to convince each other. So, like you've heard each other's lines so many times.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this hits our emotional armor against each other. Like we're not easily swayed.
Yep.
In this case.
Yep.
So I'm all for it. Okay, I have the script.
Hold on.
It's okay. I won't hit enter till you.
And I'm ready for you.
All right, I'm ready as well.
3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you got the dismiss in right before me.
Yeah. Dismiss cuts through rebuttal, but I don't know if it cuts through. I don't know if it cuts through avoid.
I'll look right now.
It does not work against dismiss.
Oh yeah.
Boom. Page 100. Avoid automatically beats feints and rebuttals. It does not work against dismiss.
Nice.
All right.
Cool.
Let's see if we can actually do anything to each other.
All right. Point for point.
Point for point. My point is, I'd rather take my chances on the open road than stay in a grave we just haven't dug yet.
Oh. He says, I will not see my daughter eaten by wolves, or worse yet, bandits.
All right. I got 1, which means nothing.
He got 3, which means 1.
All right, so I'm down to 1.
Yep. And then you get your dismiss.
All right. I assume he goes back to his wood cutting.
Yeah.
How's he trying to avoid the topic?
Yeah, he just turns his back to you.
I take his sharpest a file, like a long file that's used for.
Yeah.
Take his sharpest file, the one that has like the needle tip, and I pull it up and I stick it in his face, and I say, I will cut down any bandit or wolf that would threaten my daughter. No one will put her in danger, including you. And she like pushes it up against him, like not to break the skin, but
yeah,
like showing how fierce her determination is. Let's see if it makes a difference. All right, I'm testing will.
Yep.
I've got 2 dice bonus, and I'm going to spend my persona for a third.
Nice.
All right, I'm going to have 3 dice. Come on, baby. You can do it. Nope. That's 3, which makes 1.
So you've worn him down to 2.
Yep.
And then
his dismiss.
He takes both.
Yeah, and then I'm like, that's all I had, right? Like that's.
Yeah. He puts his hands on your hands that are holding the file, and like kisses the back of your hand, and he says, I know you wouldn't let anything happen, but outside of the walls, your love for your daughter doesn't matter. Not against armed bandits. And he's rolling 6d6.
Yep. Bring it home. Try and get 2 successes, man.
And he did not get 2 successes. Traitors. You got 1 success.
Traitors.
Yeah, it's matter of fact, I think like as he like kisses your hand and pulls away, like he gets like a little cut right under his eye from the file.
Nice.
And We script again. And you know that you're going to get the first round because he's hesitating.
Because he's hesitating, yeah.
Yeah. And let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think if this is just going to be a yelling match. Okay.
Ready?
No, sorry. I was looking at the walking away rule and if you can walk away in the middle of a duel of wits.
Yeah.
But you cannot. You can walk away before one, but you can't walk away in the middle of one. I was wondering if between scripting you can be like, I accept no, no victory, but also no loss.
Right.
But no, I'm locked into this. Well, I mean, you know what I'm gonna go with.
I'm ready when you are.
Yep, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Right. We're just yelling at each other now, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's just you're wearing each other down. Like literally, it's just who can be too exhausted with this.
Exactly. I don't think we're coming up with any new arguments. I think we're just repeating our old fears until one of us breaks down and does what the other one says. So that's the continuation of it. If that's okay with you.
Yep.
I'm just gonna roll and.
Yeah, I don't even think you're not even really listening to each other anymore. It's just it's just yelling.
It's just yelling. It's just a state of just basically who's going to be exhausted first.
Right.
All right. Well, I got 2, so that's 1. So he's down to 1.
Yep. And
I think at this point, Nara has definitely hurt us. Like,
Yeah, you at one point you realize Nara usually runs in when you're yelling. Like she gets upset and she runs in crying, and she hasn't done that yet.
I think there's a part of her brain that's like, that seems wrong, but it's just too consumed with this at the moment.
And he wears down your last body.
Oh, he does. Okay.
But you get a major compromise. So
yes, I got him down 3/4. I get a major compromise. Awesome. Do you want me to ask for something, or do you have something to offer me?
I mean, how about I don't know. If you have an idea, what's your idea?
Well, he said all 3 of us are going to stay. A major compromise could be, I know he's not going to leave.
Oh.
Like there's no way I convince him, but he hasn't spoken for me.
Okay, but I think in that case, Nara stays with him.
I think Nara stays with him unless I steal her away. Or do you think I agree to the terms that? Because I'm going to abide by whatever we agree to, right? Like I'm not going to say it. Like that's duel of wits. Is that whether you like it or not, you agree to something.
I think the you can go on your own, but Nara has to stay with him.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, good.
I feel like I don't think she would ask that, but I think it
Right.
could come out in the argument. Like, if you want to leave so much, just go.
Right.
And she's like, fine, I might. Like, it's just so bitter and angry that like,
Yeah.
um,
Does he say something about Voss in that when he gets bitter and angry?
does he know about Voss?
I don't know.
I think so. Maybe he
Cool.
doesn't
Yeah,
know
I
that.
think
Maybe he doesn't know
like,
he's striking a nerve. Maybe he doesn't even realize it. But you know,
right. And he says, like, I've seen Voss turn his wolf eyes on you. Why don't you just get on his donkey and ride out with him? And I think that he says, but if you do that, Nara stays with me. That's her name, right? Nara?
Nara. I say, at least I know he would raise a spear up against our enemies rather than hide behind a wall.
Right. Go run away with a hero if that's what you want. If you want old Novak's storybook.
I'm not running away. I'm saving us. And she doesn't even know what that means. She's just like so upset right now. It's just she just doesn't want to admit defeat. She is defeated. She's
Do you storm out?
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally storm out. I think my point is I want to make it clear that I haven't I may do this. We've said this in this really hurtful way. Yeah, go for it. But I don't think anyone necessarily thinks when you say like, fine, just go do this, that you necessarily are. Right. So I'm leaving it ambiguous at this point because Bina doesn't know. She doesn't know whether she's going to leave or not. She's clearly been granted a very spiteful permission to, but it's not what she wants. Yeah, I just walk out into the street. Like,
yeah, you walk out in the street and you look around and Nara is nowhere. Like, you guys have been arguing for a while. And it's like, where the fuck is Nara?
I wiped something that got in my eye out of it. And go from really not sulking, but just really defeated.
Yeah.
She was defeated to Nara, to okay, where are you? To quickly, I know where her hiding holes are.
Yeah.
I assume she's not in any of those, any of the obvious ones. I look up in the loft where there's the hay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I tell Deke, I come back in a few minutes later. Is Nara here?
No, she stepped outside. She never goes far.
She's not out back. Go which is funny because we've just had this huge heated argument, but in this moment I don't think
it goes away.
It goes away. She says, go to the cobbler. She likes playing with his shoes, and I'll ask the neighbors.
Cool. Yeah, you go to the neighbors and they say, oh yeah, we saw her taking her pretty little ribbon wheel up to the old tower. Which is a place where you picnic,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She thinks for a moment about telling Deke and then decides that in her mind, the armies could literally arrive any moment. She has no idea.
Totally.
Every time she hears a door slam, she thinks it's the thundering of hooves. And then she's so to her, the idea of, well, I should tell Deke so he's not worried, it just doesn't even enter her head. It's just, I got to go find my daughter. So yeah, I run to the old tower.
Cool. And yeah, she's asleep. There are these stones near the old tower that I feel like things are starting to come into context now, right? Because things that you've seen every day since you've been here, that they're called they're standing stones, but they're called the elf stones.
Mm.
And Nara is asleep in the shade of one.
And I immediately relieved, knowing that seeing her safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look and I start petting her head and brushing her hair out of the way. And I look at the elf stones. I mean, I don't read Elvish. There's no way I'm going to understand them. But I look at the writing or the scratching on them, and I kind of run my fingers over them into the inscriptions and whatnot, and just sort of puzzle at like what happened here, right?
Yep. And she wakes up and she says, "The song was so pretty, Mama, that I fell asleep."
Oh, that's good, Nara. It is a pretty song. It's a pretty, and she like holds her close to her. She's like, it's a pretty song, and it's also a sad song.
It was sad. Did you hear the song too, Mama? You heard the pretty man?
And Varys is the shepherd's daughter, right?
Right.
I said, no, girl, no, Nara. It was Varys. She sang the soldier's lament.
No, it wasn't Varys. Varys has hair like Daddy. The pretty man had hair like you.
No, I didn't hear the pretty man, but I would love to. Where did you spy him?
I saw something up here where we picnic on the picnic stones. So I ran up here and there was nobody here. But then there were pretty men. And they started singing.
More than one?
More than one. More than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. More than there are spokes on the wheel.
Right here. Yeah, like she kind of gestures at the.
Mm-hmm. But they had their hoods up, but except for one. The pretty man. And he sang me a song and I fell asleep.
I think every superstitious bone in about the songs of elves enchanting people with their songs.
Yeah, of course.
Like being is terrified of. I don't think she's ever seen an elf.
Yeah.
So all she knows is what she's heard.
Yeah. Yeah. Like what does Nara pick up from you? Like what's the body language? Does she know?
Oh yeah, I think she picks up consternation and concern.
Yeah.
And
did I do something wrong?
No, Nara, you're fine. It's just it's not every day. And I dislike the idea of parents always like sugarcoating and lying to their children about things. So she tries to say this. She says, it's just that those pretty men that you saw, they remind me of stories I heard about the elves about the Eldark and their beautiful voices and how they would woo the prettiest girl in all the village off to follow them. And I just didn't want you to run off after any elves in the woods, my pretty little girl. It's sort of a lie, sort of not.
Right. She says, I'm not going anywhere.
I know. Your father wouldn't have it. There's like there's just for a second like a cuttingness to it.
Yeah. And she's like she's got her wheel that her daddy made her, and she's playing with it and counting the spokes.
Well, next time you see any of these pretty men, you bring me along. I want to hear their song too.
Okay. And she like gasps. She says, he made a drawing. Like Daddy.
You see him now, and she's looking around, trying to figure out.
And like, you know, when like kids are trying to explain something to you, but they don't have the words and they just get frustrated and kind of mad.
Yeah.
She's like, no, a drawing like daddy.
Show me.
I am showing you. She like she's shaking the wheel and the ribbons are going up and down.
I don't have parent wise, which is a shame.
It's a shame.
Totally.
And there is a really cool, there's an awesome parenting skill too. It's like it can be used as like tutoring for like just about anything you've got. It's incredible. It's an incredible skill.
Well, let's beginner's luck it.
Cool.
Let's beginner's luck some parenting and try and figure out what they actually is talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's okay, Nara, calm down. Just tell me what you see.
Cool.
What's parenting based on?
Oh, I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I must have the name wrong. Maybe it's child rearing. It's a really awesome skill. I remember reading it and being like, oh my God, this skill is amazing. Yeah, child rearing is used to raise children with the proper values and manners. The skill can be used as instruction, cooking, and field dressing, but only for the benefit of children.
Nice.
And it's will. It's will. So I think trying to figure out what your 4-year-old is saying to you is just like an OB1 child rearing skill. But we'll say it's OB2 because you're unskilled.
Yep. Here we go. I'm all out of Artha. I can't fork because it's unskilled. So.
Yep.
Is she willing to be patient and help me?
Yes, totally.
Give me helping die? Cool.
Yeah.
Setting the ob is 2 because of beginner's luck. Yes! I understand
Awesome.
my child.
So you realize, like, she points to the wheel and you realize that like a daddy drawing is carving on a wheel, right? Like daddy does. And she points to her wheel and there's Elvish on it.
Ah, he's inscribed into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, I feel like this should require a steel test right now. This is scary as hell that there's like elves here. No?
Yeah.
Presence of supernatural?
Totally. Steel test. Go for it.
It's my hob.
I have no idea. It's just your hesitation.
Oh, right. Your ob is...
There's no plus. Like, you're not seeing elvish magic at work or anything, really.
Right. So my hesitation is 10 minus will.
Yep.
All right. Why did I not make will higher? Silly boy. All right. So we're going to do steel, ob 7. All right. I only missed it by 3.
All right. Do you stand and drool? Do you run? What do you do?
I think I've run. I think I'm terrified. Is it fair to say that I take Nara with me?
Yeah.
And I say, I've basically been humoring her up to this point. And yeah, shoeless run. Oh, thanks, Matthew. Absolutely. I've been so careful about my feet thus far.
Yeah.
I run, and I think I cut my foot over one of the old broken cobblestones, of the old tower.
Well, let's make a roll to see if that happens. Actually,
Okay, sounds good.
yeah. Make an ob 1 athletics check.
Okay. What's athletics rooted in? Agility?
Yeah,
Because you know I don't got that.
I do. And is athletics even a skill? Am I in a totally the wrong game?
You could be, but you know.
I am totally in the wrong game.
I think usually running is just speed tests, but
yeah.
in
Okay,
this
so
case,
let's just do a speed test. Yeah, ob 1 speed test.
Cool.
Yeah, totally the wrong. Yeah, ob 1 speed.
All right, it's coming. The got it.
Cool. Yeah, so your feet are fine, but you
okay. I run home. I mean, that's the place that it feels safe. Well, is it that or the keep?
Right.
I don't know. You can tell me. I'm the one who failed the still test.
So I feel like it's more. There's more consequence if people see you running through town into the keep. Like, that's weird, you know?
Yep.
And people are gonna come out and see what, you know, people are gonna talk about that. So yeah, you run into the keep and or into the tower, and Vas and Dudas are playing are playing a board game, a strategy game.
Okay. Are they playing?
It's
the oldest game with written rules.
Yeah, it's the variant of chess with like a big piece in the middle. It's like that siege chess where like there are a bunch of pawns around it, and you're trying to like protect the king in the middle, and you've got like the pieces around the king, and the yeah, it's basically like a siege version of chess that they play here in this town. And they both look up, and Vas stands up. Like Dudas couldn't care less, and Vas stands up and says, "What's wrong?"
I think she practically like runs into him before she stops panting. And like there's a moment where she's just about to say like elves, you know, right? Like she does. She's like elves. And she looks at the wheel, and then she's like, I thought I heard them. I thought I heard them at the walls. It's nothing. I'm just scared.
Yeah, Dudas snorts. And he says, if you know what's good for you, you'll keep quiet about the elves.
I will. That's why I came back here.
Good. And Nara says, I saw elves. And Dudas looks like disgusted. He looks, come on, boss, let's finish the game.
And I say, come on, Nara, let's see if old Novak has a treat for you. And as I walk by, I lean in to Vas and I say, I need to talk to you privately. And then like the understanding is when he's free.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go bring Nara, and I'm gonna set her down on the counter where we cook and whatnot, and I'm gonna see if I can find her some sweet bread or something that's won't be missed.
Yeah, old Novak is getting a potion ready for the for Sir Bodnar because he's not feeling well.
It's funny because I don't think Old Novak has any reason to know this, but Bina has essentially associated Old Novak with like all oldie knowledge at this point in her mind. Like it's totally unreasonable, but like it's that like she's the wise woman, so I'm just assuming she knows all things of lore.
Yes.
And so she sets Nara down, gives her a little sweetbread, and says, "Nara, let me see Daddy's wheel for a moment. I want to show it to Old Novak."
Nara says, "No."
Nara?
And she gets serious.
I say, "Nara, you need to give it to me. I won't take it far."
No, no, no. She starts she starts going into like full on 4-year-old meltdown tantrum. Like she's just like she says no, 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 and then like you can see her working herself up.
Right.
And
I want to cut off the work off and say, okay, you show her. You're so proud of Daddy's wheel and of the drawings. You show her the drawings.
Ooh,
I won't take
well
it.
done. Well done. Yeah. She like pulls herself back together and says, "Okay."
And I ask, Old Novak, and I give her this sort of like wry smile, like, I mean, I know why she's making him this potion, cause we poisoned him, right? So I don't want to be gleeful about it, but it's like an in the know smile, like, oh, of course you're doing that,
right?
Because and I say, Old Novak, before you administer that to the Lord, could you?
I don't have much time. He's doing poorly. What is it?
I'll take it to him. I'll take it to him. Nana has something, and I know it seems childish and foolish, but there's writing on it that I've never seen. I thought maybe you would recognize it. Could you look at it for me? You know so much more than you've seen so many more things than I have.
She squats down to Nara's level and says, "What do you have, dear heart? What do you have?" And Nara says, "I have the wheel my daddy made for me, and on it, the pretty man put a drawing, a daddy drawing."
And is she showing her the script?
And then she she shows her. Yeah. And like Old Novak goes pale and says, "That's Elvish."
It just appeared. Just now.
Yeah, she makes again that warding sign. They must be here. Right, because you told her, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Novak's the only person I think I've been completely honest with so far, or I've been completely forthcoming with, at least.
She says they must be here.
She says she saw more than, she said she saw several of them, all in hoods, in the old tower. And then she kind of has this like look of like, what can we do? Like literally Bina and Sean, for that matter, are just like, what do you do when elvish ghosts or who knows what show up to town? She's utterly lost, but
I have to bring this up. She
should we tell the Lord?
Would we better be able to navigate this with the Lord or without the Lord?
Who are you thinking of telling?
No, dear heart, you're not listening. Are we going to be better able to navigate this disaster with the Lord Knight we have, or with the squires will be left if you were gone? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm saying the Lord is upstairs. Our Lord Knight is upstairs, and he's shitting himself to death. And he's going to continue to do so unless we stop him.
I think at this point, Bino offered to go deliver the potion to him.
Yeah.
So she's holding it now. Like she was gonna deliver it to him for old Novak because so she's old Novak she doesn't mess around, right?
Yeah.
She's got some commitment. She's holding it.
So old Novak takes another cup and she puts like a bitter root in it and puts that on the table. And she says, what's in your hand will save his life. And what's on the table will take him away from us within a few hours. And she picks up Nara and she walks away. Come on, dear, let's play outside.
So this is a brutal decision to make.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I can make it uninformed.
Cool.
I would like to
ask any questions you need.
Yeah. Right. From what I was first, he captured me, you know. Right. He captured me. He kept me as a slave, not as a slave, as a captive for years, and then released me.
Yeah.
And took me as a servant. I've been around him for 10-ish years in various forms. I've heard lots of gossip about him, and I've worked for him for a long time in terms of my wises.
Yep.
How superstitious is he? What is his response when other tales are told? Is he a superstitious? Is he the type of person to lose his head when in the presence of things he doesn't understand?
No, he's got a pretty even keel. I mean, being in charge of this tower is kind of a banishment from the capital, but it's also something that needs to be dealt with because it's important to merchants. So if you think about, like, the gossip is telling you, like in between the lines, is that this is someone who has an even head and can do an easy job well, but that they don't want around for whatever reason.
Yeah, he can do an easy job well.
Yeah.
The question is, can he do a hard job well?
Yeah, when the fire is put to him, you have no idea because you've never seen it. Like, you've never seen it.
Right.
You know?
So my question is, will he go like the soldier before him and try and make peace? Or will he hide in here and we're all doomed? I think Bino believes at this point that if we hide, we're all doomed. That could be her. That could be her naivete, but she is sure that that sure as they tore down the first tower, they'll tear down the next.
Do you want to make try to open up Nightwise and like figure out what this guy would do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds.
So I'm going to say, like, to have an idea of someone who you've worked with this closely is Ob 1.
Right.
But it's you know, it's Ob 2 because you're unskilled.
Sure. What, and the base for Wises as well?
No, the basis for Wises is perception.
Yay! Cool. I say yay because I've been hurting from that will as far. Okay, so we're gonna do Nightwise. And it's based on perception.
Yep.
And I'm going to give a test. And I can't help with it.
I'm sorry if you can hear my cat snoring in the background. My
It's
cat.
I was wondering what it was. I was like,
That's my cat snoring.
that's so
Literally.
freaking cute.
Oh, pupper cat, you're internet famous now. Congratulations.
Yes, awesome. Got it.
Cool.
Yeah. So, you know, Deke made a point that he's learning from the song, and he's going to hide, unlike the other warrior did.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like that's just hiding is just not like in my bones. I know hiding is just like is not the right choice, right?
Yes.
So I think even though it's a doomed prospect, it has to be done. Maybe he can succeed where his predecessor failed. So,
well, you realize, like, you now know what you've been missing. Like all the pieces come together in your head, like all the things you've seen him do in the past couple of hours before he started to shit himself to death.
Right, because I knew he was up to something and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, he was going to leave. He was going to use this as an excuse to go back to the capital. He was going to pull up stakes and leave.
Got it.
Like you realize,
and abandon all of us.
And abandon you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't blame him. That's exactly my plan. I mean,
right.
Right. I just don't have anybody to take care of except for my family, and I was going to bring them with. So slightly less cowardly than him in that regard, but still pretty cowardly. Okay, so now I just need to convince him to not only not leave and stand his ground, but also go ride on his horse out to the armies and parlay with them.
Right.
Yeah, sure. Got it. No problem. I think it's late at night, and this is a great cliffhanger ending to leave this on. And
cool. Let's leave it.
Figure out where what we do. I think we're going to end the scene with her. You hear the scrape of a mug being dragged off a table, and see her turn away, and we don't know which one she's grabbed.
Awesome.
Yet.
Cool. Let's do Arthur and let's call it a night.
Yeah, awesome. All right. I spent a persona on Will. Yep, I got that. And I sent a fate on Soothing Platitudes. That's correct. And all right, I'm definitely going to go through this thing later.
Okay.
And fill it all in. But I just want to make sure I have. Why can't I seem to find? Sorry, I just want to get to the right spot.
Nope, don't worry about it.
Arthur. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I have none. Excellent. Okay, what are the Arthur questions?
Did you drive a game forward with a belief?
Yes, I think I drove a game forward with two. My beliefs are, we'll be crushed like ants if we stay. Oh, it was Utkere.
Yeah.
It was there. Never mind. But it's been changed. It's Karakage? Karakage. Okay. If we stay in Karakage. There it was right in front of me. In Karakage. I must convince Deke to flee with me and her daughter Nara. That was the thrust of all of her action. And
take a fate for that. Absolutely.
Yep. If the word gets out, there'll be panic in the street. I will keep Bodnar from raising the alarm.
Yep.
I did keep Bodnar from raising the alarm.
Yep.
What's the condition for a belief generating persona?
That's when you complete it.
Okay. I don't think I've completed it, but I definitely. There we go. Okay. And I get one for each, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's 2 fate.
Yep. Instinct. Did you play an instinct that made the character's life difficult?
My instinct was one instinct didn't come into play, but the other one was always keep Budnar's flagon full with ale. And the only time that mattered was when I filled it up with poison.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I'll give you a fate for that. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like it complicated the story.
Yep. Did you invoke a trait that sent the story in an unforeseen direction?
I don't think so. Let me look at my traits. I didn't.
I seldom ever reward one for that one. I feel like that one rarely comes up.
Ambitious, early riser, a little fat. Ambitious, but not in an unforeseen direction. It wasn't like I went like, oh, because I'm ambitious, you know. I think I played ambitious in a predictable way that fit up with my beliefs rather than it surprising us.
Okay. Cool. Was it, humor? Was there an in-character game stopper? I don't think, not really, but
no. We had some funny moments, but nothing.
Right skill, right time.
Well, soothing platitudes did, but I fail it so many times. I don't know if it is right skill, right time. I mean, it was absolutely the right thing to do to get the Lord to open up to me. Like that's the skill you use to get people in power to divest information to you. I don't know if you need to have succeeded in it though, because I don't think I did on that roll.
Did you make the story go with it? Yeah, I think you did actually, because it changed things.
Cool.
That's a fate.
Awesome.
And then we get into the weird things with one-person games. Embodiment, mold breaker, workhorse, and MVP. I feel like workhorse and MVP don't really work unless, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Like it feels like, right. It would feel very, it would essentially be you get a persona every single game session, because you can't get both, but you'd certainly get one of the two. Yeah,
I'll give you an embodiment for really good distinctive role playing, because I thought she was great. You didn't achieve any personal goals or greater goals or go beyond the call. So I think just one persona for this game. Does that work for you?
Sounds great.
Cool. And chat can always chime in with that, because the nice thing about it, the only part of one person burning wheel that feels flat is the Artha stuff, right?
Right.
Because it feels too much like it's being bequeathed by the GM, which I don't feel like is the way it should be.
Right. Well, why don't you read MVP and Mold Breaker, and if anyone's still left in chat, they can chime in if they feel like that really fits. And I would say, chat, do not do me any favors. If you feel like, yeah, that's totally the case, just say something. And if you don't say anything. And that's absolutely cool.
Yep. Mold Breaker is going beyond the bounds of the character, and Workhorse is for doing all the work for the scenario, and MVP is for being a crucial element of success.
I'm advocating for myself. I don't feel like Workhorse can be, well, I made all the rolls. Like that doesn't. So if I think of Bina in the context of the larger events going on, has she really helped the Lord or her husband or her daughter or anybody else in like a major way? I mean, little ways, but yeah, I don't have a strong too early known the character of Mold Breaker. Yeah, I definitely don't think this is Mold Breaker. I made this character to do this thing, right? Like we developed the scenario around the character's concept. So the whole whether you poison will you kill the Lord thing, like it was very clear when we were talking to Novak earlier on about poisoning the Lord that it was going to make him sick, right? There was no like, let's go murder the Lord now.
Oh, no.
That's a question.
And she didn't think that that's what was going to happen. She didn't realize he was going to have such a bad reaction to it.
Yeah. So perhaps Mold Breaker maybe next time, but cool. I'm very happy with that. I think one persona is great.
Awesome.
And thanks everybody in chat for hanging out with us.
Yeah, that was fun.
The plan is that this is our backup game. So if in any event that we can't get the crew together to pull some crime, we'll be playing Burning Wheels instead. And we'll try and let everybody know more in advance than as we launch the stream. But it's a little touch and go to see this evening, but it was great seeing all of you.
Yeah.
So with that, I'm going to do the thing where I switch over to the other thing. So everybody,
Good night, folks.
take care.